Great, thank you, Gordon. Now, I actually failed to mention where Gordon's favourite holiday destination was as well, by the way. So it is Ohope Beach. I quite like Ohope Beach too. The TEC board went there quite recently, and I won the one-hole golf challenge there. So great spot. All right. Now, our next speaker is our president, Martin Horgan. Martin, Director of Southern Worlds, based in Christchurch. Martin's been involved in inbound tourism now for 27 years. Martin has served on the board of TEC from 2003 to 2008. He's been Vice President from 2004 to 2008. He then rejoined the board in 2010 and has been President since 2011. Martin's favourite holiday destination is Central Otago. And Martin also has a superhero fetish, but I'll leave that to him to describe.
That's 2 votes for Central Otago. That's a good result so far. Firstly, I want to welcome everyone to this year's conference on behalf of the Tourism Export Council Board, Leslie and myself. We're genuinely thrilled to be holding this year's conference in the Hamilton Waikato region, and so a big thanks to Kiri, Rebecca, Daniel and the team from Hamilton Waikato Tourism for hosting this year's event. Hamilton and the Greater Waikato region have a huge amount to offer the international visitor, and hosting the conference provides an excellent opportunity for the Tourism Export Council to showcase the region to the industry. I certainly hope you all take the opportunity to experience the best of Waikato this week. Also, a big thanks to the extended teams at Novotel Tainui, Claudelands, Hobbiton and all others who collaborated to put this week's program together. We have an exciting program ahead over the next 2 days that combines some exceptional conference content along with, unashamedly, an opportunity to socialise, mix and mingle with our industry colleagues and maybe celebrate the vibrancy and health of the industry right now. This conference also wouldn't be possible without the help of our generous sponsors. So before we go any further, Leslie has asked that I acknowledge our sponsors and partners, particularly our gold sponsor, Tourism New Zealand. Thanks, Kevin, and our silver sponsor, New Zealand Maori Tourism. We're also grateful for support from Service IQ, Budget Rent-A-Card, JLT Insurance, Air New Zealand, and our local conference partners, Leisure Time Tours for their coaches, Claudelands and Hobbiton. Your sponsorship is greatly appreciated by both the Tourism Export Council Executive and all our delegates who have or are about to enjoy your hospitality. We're also pleased to welcome representatives from the three major political parties this afternoon, some of which may not have arrived. The Honourable Associate Minister of Tourism, Todd McClay, the Greens Tourism spokesperson David Clinton and the Labour Tourism spokesman Andrew Little. During this afternoon's panel discussion, each will have the opportunity to share with us their visions and views on tourism, the environment, immigration, and I'm sure lots of other juicy subjects relative to tourism. Also, a huge thanks in advance to our impressive lineup of keynote speakers: Richard Thompson from Air New Zealand, Chris Roberts from the Tourism Industry Association, Andrew Patterson, business commentator and radio live host, Rachel Vaughan from the Kaikoura District Council, Kevin Bowler and his team of country managers from Tourism New Zealand, and we finish with Justin Herold of Attitude fame, who will challenge us in checking our own attitude for business success. The industry is in a good space right now. Visitor arrivals to the end of July almost reached 2.8 million, 5.8% up on the year before. Year-end July 2014, we've experienced some exceptional growth. We'll hear more about that from the TNZ team tomorrow, but if you look at our top 5 markets, Australia is up 4.3%, China up 7.8%, America up 11.1%, the UK a more modest 1.9%, and Germany up 16.1%. It all makes for pretty good reading. Average visitor spend has increased to $2,850 per person, $24 billion in total tourism revenue, $9.8 billion in total export value. which is altogether a 16.1% share of New Zealand's total export earnings, and a direct contribution to GDP of 3.7% and indirect of 5.2%. Heaps and heaps of numbers. Are they up there on the screen? Yeah, they are. No, they're not. But overall, I think we need to be we should take a lot of pride in where we're sitting right now. What seems to be better news is that prospects for the 14-15 season look very, very positive. Much attributed, of course, to your own great efforts, but also potentially right now, I think we're indirectly capitalising on some other difficult circumstances in our competitive set markets, such as Africa. We should be proud of our collective achievements and looking forward to the season and seasons ahead with much enthusiasm. So the message has to be, let's kick the foot to the floor and capitalise on the momentum we've worked hard to achieve over the last few years. TNZ's significant boost in funding in April 2013 came at just the right time for the industry, and congratulations to Kevin and his teams from around the world for their achievements and the work they continue to do to represent and showcase New Zealand as being a very special and unique destination. At the Virtuoso Travel Week in Las Vegas 2 weeks ago, New Zealand was announced as being the #1 destination on the What's Hot list, almost twice the votes of the next hot as destination, which was Chile, if you're looking for somewhere hot to go. But doesn't sound that hot. New Zealand continues to collect such accolades, which is another sure sign that the future is bright and the government's investment in tourism is paying dividends to the New Zealand economy. At last year's conference, we spoke about the industry needing to vocally advocate for the protection and enhancement of our unique and often fragile environment. It is still a #1 priority for us all, and something that the TEC executive has taken a much stronger role and interest in over the last 12 months. We're also working with industry partners to take a collaborative approach with regard to playing our part in a tourism-focused social responsibility strategy. You'll continue to hear more from us about that, but it's clear we have a role to play. Whether that's around pre-arrival information for those considering self-drive vacations and maybe don't understand our roads and driving conditions, or ITOs as itinerary planners and facilitators not allowing clients to jump into rental cars after they've just flown from Europe into Christchurch and then wanting to drive to Tekapo or Mount Cook, Queenstown whilst hot off the plane. In that example, we have the ability to influence and to educate, to make New Zealand roads safer for our visitors and for ourselves. As with environmental slippage, the New Zealand tourism industry has much to lose if we don't take these issues seriously and strive towards improvement. Also great to see is that we have some significant new infrastructure developments on the horizon in New Zealand at the moment. In the last few weeks, SkyCity announced plans for a new 5-star hotel in Auckland. And close to my heart, the redevelopment of Christchurch took a massive leap forward with the announcement and confirmation that work will commence on a stunning, world-class 2,000-seat conference venue in 2015. Whilst the rebuild has been hurtling along nicely in Christchurch, as I'm Canterburyton, this will be a massive boost for tourism in Canterbury and most certainly the catalyst for further tourism infrastructure development in the region. Given the significance to Christchurch, I want to share a 2-minute video, introduction video on this project with you if you haven't seen it. Hit it, Brogan. How about that? If you haven't seen that before, that just blew my mind. And extremely excited for Christchurch and Canterbury, and it's going to be wonderful for us. Starts in mid-2015 and will be completed, all things going well, by 2017. And I'm sure hopefully I'll get a rap from Christchurch Canterbury Tourism for that, Yulia, will I? Thank you. I need it. Over the last 12 months, the Tourism Export Council membership has grown once again, both inbound and supply members. This is a strong marker that the industry and members recognise the value in membership to the Tourism Export Council. We do not take the good health of this organisation for granted, and Leslie is constantly striving to deliver more trade, business-to-business opportunities for members, whilst always keeping an eye on member and bigger picture representation and policy issues. Critical to our ongoing long-term success in tourism is the introduction of new, young, enthusiastic and skilled people. TEC Young TEC program is breaking ground in this area. The Young TEC workshop program that Liz facilitated over the winter was very successful, very well patronised and genuinely inspiring. Thank you to all that contributed, attended in person or via the Lifetime One Room link. We're thrilled to recognise the Young TEC Excellent Award finalists at tonight's dinner and announce the winner of the 2014 Young TEC Excellence Award. The recipient of this award will win 2 weeks in any Tourism New Zealand office around the world, travel there courtesy of Air New Zealand and be accommodated at one of Accor's international hotels with $1,000 spending money from the Tourism Export Council. It's a pretty good gig. Naturally, tonight also, we acknowledge the finalists in the Operator of the Year, the Inbound Operator of the Year Awards, and announce those distinguished winners. You'll have noticed that this year we're working towards delivering a shorter, snappier conference while still retaining all the great content you'd expect from this event. It's been a challenge for Leslie, who's done an awesome job with this year's program, but it does mean the schedule is a little bit tight, and so apologies for not giving you a bunch of time to stick on those hairy feet before you go out to tomorrow night's showcase at Hobbiton. This conference is the penultimate New Zealand Tourism Network event, and I'm sure you've come along to take advantage of this. I hope you learned something new, leave here feeling even more enthusiastic and motivated, meet some new people, and of course, have lots of fun. I look forward to catching up with many or all of you over the next couple of days. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here.